Hello Internet, I'm Jossaway, and this is Doki Doki Literature Club. This game was a big deal a few years ago. I've never played it. I know a little bit about it. I know that it's a psychological horror game masquerading as a dating sim. And I know one of these girls turns out to be kind of mentally disturbed. But I don't know much beyond that, and it's a little bit of a different style of game for my channel, but I'm going to give it a shot here. So we're going to go ahead and start a new game and see what this is all about. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayuri, my neighbor, and a good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayuri catch up to me. Ha! Ha! I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. Eh? You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Jossaway. Oh boy, here we go. So I don't know if my viewers here watch anime at all, but the little sweat drop here is a convention in Japanese animation and this kind of thing that means like flustered or embarrassed, or in this case, she's pouting. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean, even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayuri. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Jossaway, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Hey, that's not true. You told me you'd join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayuri likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years just because you're not used to the real world. NEET is a term for, it's like not employed or educated or trained or something like that. Basically, it means someone who stays home all day, plays video games and watches anime and doesn't work and just lets their parents support them. It's a kind of an ostracized class of like super, I don't know if it's always anxiety based, but it's people who've rejected participation in society and just stay home and amuse themselves all day. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. All right, all right. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayuri wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayuri? Sayuri must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayuri. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Aw, meanie. Sayuri is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure that she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I'd be bringing in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori's really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayuri across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayuri, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member's here. I told you, don't call me a new member. Eh? I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayuri always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Josue, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayuri. Now you can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayuri says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy, and this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayuri and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Josue. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Josue. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I think real quick here, sometimes I do voices when I'm reading dialogue like this. But doing 4 girls for an entire playthrough with 4 different voices, and even like changing my voice pitch a little bit to represent the girls is a little rough. So I think I'm going to skip that for this playthrough. I'll just read it in my normal reading voice. And hopefully you guys can, in your heads, give them voices to match their appearances. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayuri mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayuri. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayuri. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Ooh. Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayuri grabs the one first, then Monica, and I follow. Oh, it's delicious! Sayuri talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. And this is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I... Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. Okay, so it seems Natsuki is following a familiar trope, at least in the opening of the game here, of the, I guess, tsundere, which is a concatenation word in Japanese from, I think, tsuntsun dere dere. One of them means like aggressive and one of them means sweet. So these are girls in the trope who have feelings for the protagonist but don't want to admit it. They're embarrassed by them. So to cover up their real feelings, they act hostile in a kind of a mild or cute way. So she might be a tsundere archetype here. I thought you technically did. Sayuri said, well, maybe. But not for, you, dummy. Okay, all right. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom. Oh, don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. What? That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. Oh, I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayuri. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayuri seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. Well, you could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah, we'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Josue, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped for something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that, but if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? Well, you left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And give that back! Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayuri sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hand on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Huh? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Ah, not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Josue? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on. There's still one problem. Oh, what's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayuri may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Josue, you all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayuri wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I'd be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Yeah, thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone, I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Josue, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Josue, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayuri and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayuri, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I just need to make the most of my circumstances and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Interesting. And why did she hop over here? Oh, they're all kind of bouncing around. Okay, so the opening seems pretty standard. I haven't played a lot of dating sims, but they kind of open with like, here are the girls you're gonna get to choose from. Here's the scenario. And then you start getting into having like choices to make, right? So I think, I mean, Monica is the one that the characters seem most interested in. So why don't we start with her? Natsuki was a little shy, seemed to be interested in him for some reason, hiding her feelings. This one was a very intellectual, Yuri. And then Monica seems like the typical kind of, you know, alpha, right? Go out and get him, ambitious, intelligent, smart, cheerful, friendly. Let's see what we've got here. I think cheer would be a good word for Monica. Let's see, what else? Rose, pure, effulgent. Effulgent is a good word, but it's a little bit on the intellectual side. Smile might be good. Let's go with smile. Let's see. Sunny, maybe. She does seem outdoorsy, because they said she was athletic, right? What else do we have? Kiss, fester, skirt, disown, strawberry, covet, essence, calm, nibble. These are interesting choices here. I mean, I feel like strawberry would work for any of the girls. I don't know about calm. She does seem... she's outgoing, so maybe journey here? Natsuki hated being called cute, which kawaii is the Japanese word for cute. So picking that might work for Monica and might ensure that Natsuki doesn't like the poem. There's a lot of dark words in here. Maybe I'll go with kawaii here. Let's see, what else do we have? Nature, friends, doki doki, entropy, holiday cloud, sensation, variance, milk. Maybe friends, she founded the club. Let's see, skipping worm, vacation, maybe vibrant. Let's see. Probably not childhood. There's some dark words in here. Pain, contamination. Let's see. Amazing. Beauty could work. Insight. Email. Email's a weird choice. Sing, aura. Maybe we'll go for beauty here. Cage, kitty, peace, candy, anger, fireworks. Like, I don't like any of these dark words. Maybe fireworks. And then, let's see. The intellectual words feel like they're for Yuri. Maybe puppy here. Together seems good. Special, maybe. Extraordinary. I think she's like, I think extraordinary works here. Not lazy. What do we have here? Happiness. Pink seems like maybe that's Natsuki's color. She's wearing a red ribbon, so maybe not pink. Existence, spinning, tears, ambient, broken. Like, none of these are super great. I guess I'll pick existence here. Flying, maybe. Maybe music. None of them said much about music, so I'll just pick that as a safe choice. Let's see. Maybe vivid or sweet? Maybe vivid. Man, you gotta pick a lot here. Socks? Tenacious seems good for her. Let's see, determination is similar. And then I think hope. Monica says, hi again, Josue. Glad to say you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Josue. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayuri told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year, and last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Josue always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. Oh, how dependable. Sayuri, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Josue can become good friends too. Sayuri. As usual, Sayuri seems oblivious to the weird situation she's put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayuri... Huh, me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayuri made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Why would these girls... This is something I've been curious about. Like, why is she blushing? Like, didn't we just meet for the first time yesterday? So why does this girl seem to have feelings for the protagonist? It's kind of the same with Natsuki. And Monica doesn't seem to be quite on that page yet, but she might just be hiding. She might be better at presenting herself. But Yuri and Natsuki definitely seem to be a little bit shy around the protagonist here. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Oh, is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. All right. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, but it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayuri and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. Man, looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I'll slump down into the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature-related by myself like this? I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me. But I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. I close my eyes and end up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monica. We're probably going to seem really lame compared to all the other clubs, though. Well, we can't give up. The festival's our chance to show everyone what literature's all about. The problem is that the idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all, you know? We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. That doesn't solve the problem, though. Huh? What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know? And after they come, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds. What's this? Sayori's taking this really seriously. It's rare to hear her deliberating like this. Well, that's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? Ooh, what kind? Well, I guess we could... Cupcakes! Yeah, good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. You're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it? Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Cupcakes it is, then. Oh, I'm hungry. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. I find myself smiling. In the end, Sayori's still her usual self. But therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all, Sayuri can put her mind to things and make them come to life. I suppose that's why I end up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it would be like to see the world through her eyes. Whoa! I open my eyes to find Sayuri's face filling my vision. I nearly fall out of my chair. Sorry. Wait, actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't the napping club. Does our school have a napping club? You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're going to have less time for anime, you know? You'll need to get used to it. Don't say that so loud. I glance over my shoulder to see if Monica overheard. It's true, though. Yeah. I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayuri. That's what I do best. That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you? Huh? Not every day. That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time? It's a secret. I knew it. Come on, at least give me the benefit of the doubt. I can't even do that. Look, Sayuri, it's written all over you. Huh? Sayuri glances around at herself. How is it written all over me? You were clearly in a rush this morning. Look, your hair's sticking out all around here. I run my fingertips down the side of Sayuri's hair, trying to straighten it out. Man, you really need a brush for this. My hair's just really hard to get right. I won't fall for that. There's more than just your hair. Look, your bow isn't straight either. And there's a toothpaste stain on your collar right here. I try to wipe off the stain with my finger. But nobody would ever notice that. Of course they would. Nobody's going to tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Fortunately, I really don't care about that. Hey, you meanie. And you don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Seriously, Sayuri, why do you think you don't have a boyfriend yet? Huh? That's super mean. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I start to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. Huh. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kinds of things. I was just thinking that too. Like you're buttoning up her blouse for her? It's getting pretty close to touching her chest. It's a little bit intimate. Huh? Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it, stupid. It's okay, though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you? I guess? Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to close? I struggle to fully close the button near her chest. Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. If you ever buttoned it, you would have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about? It means my boobs got bigger again. Don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look much better now, so, why does it feel strange to see Sayuri's blazer buttoned up like that? But it's so stuffy. It's not worth it at all. Sayuri hastily unbuttons her blazer once more. Phew, that's so much better. Sayuri puts her arms out and twirls around. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? What kind of logic is that? And why are you saying that like it's a good thing? Because if I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this. You take care of me better than anyone else would anyway. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Stop saying all these embarrassing things. Huh? I didn't say anything embarrassing. Jeez. Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier. Only if you focus on going to bed earlier. Fine. It's a deal. I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves. Yeah, I guess so, huh? So maybe you should come wake me up in the morning. You're doing it again, Sayuri. Aw, but I was joking that time. Man, it's impossible to tell with you sometimes. So, I think it's pretty clear that Sayuri kind of likes the protagonist. I guess likes me. I guess I'm playing the protagonist, so I should say me. I guess Sayuri likes me and is trying to move out of the friend zone. I wonder if she's staying up at night, if she's like waking up late because she's staying up late to watch me when I'm up late. It's kind of weird. And then she's saying things about how she doesn't want to get a boyfriend and we take care of each other better. So she definitely seems to have like a crush on me, I guess, and is currently in like a friend zone scenario. Anyway, Monica says, okay, everyone. Huh? Monica suddenly calls out, why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay! Josue, I can't wait to read yours. Yeah, same. I failed to sound enthusiastic, but Sayuri still trots away to retrieve her poem. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. Couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayuri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayuri's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Well, we wrote it for Monica, so let's show it to Monica first. I should start with Monica. Yesterday, she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, Josue. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? All right, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayuri would like. Is that so? You and Sayuri are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sorts of things in common. Ah, well, we may be good friends, but Sayuri and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case. But maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you'd think. So, I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem. You're sure you're not reading into it too much? Could be. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayuri's writing has kind of a gentle feel to it. I can tell that she likes exploring with emotions like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. But that's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kind of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. It doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know, I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind like a film left out in the sun, but it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So, there's a hole poked into her wall, because the spackle's coming out towards her, from someone on the outside poked the hole. Doesn't know who created it. Looks inside, too late realizes. Permanent copy of the meaningless image. Too deep, stretching forever into everything. Infinite choices. And I wasn't looking in, I was looking out. Like she's trapped in a cage and he was looking in. A little bit of a hostility or a little bit of anxiety in the poem. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany. Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone's better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. All right, well, that seems like an interesting place to take a break. I'm getting little tiny itty bitty hints right now of some of the darkness that I know is present in this game. There's some odd things going on. Some of the girls have a very strange reaction to my presence, something that doesn't really make sense. Monica seems like the most ordinary one so far, but her poem was a little bit on the dark side. Sayuri is okay, but she's trying to break out of the friend zone, and I guess so far she's been relatively subtle about it, but there's little hints that maybe she's a little bit more obsessed than she should be. Yuri obviously is someone who reads horror and is very intellectual and seems like she could. It's strange that she seems to be attracted or interested in or shy around the protagonist here. And then Natsuki seems pretty ordinary. Not a lot of darkness there so far. So I'm not quite sure when we're going to get to the disturbing content, but so far, at least we've met our four girls, our four female leads, and we have kind of an interesting framing device of this kind of like borderline neat protagonist who's kind of been dragged by his childhood friend into joining this literature club and is forced to write poetry and discuss literature and stuff. I don't know. So far, it's just kind of okay, but I have heard that it gets very, very good once things start to take a weird turn. So I'm going to keep pushing forward. This episode was largely the kind of like happy-go-lucky, harmless, charmless, bog standard dating sim opener with just those few tiny little hints that there's something deeper going on. So we'll have to wait a little bit to see what happens next. When we come back next time, we'll discuss our poem with the other three girls and see where the game takes us after that. So that's going to be it for this time. As always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'd love your thoughts on what we saw, and if you know what the game contains, no spoilers, please. But I would like to know if you guys are excited by this playthrough, if you're eager to see where I go with it, and what your thoughts are on the game and the episode so far. We'll see you next time. Take care.